Are you looking to get better at the mobi-mon TCG, or simply looking for information on the current meta? Well then look no further. Hello and welcome back to the mobi-mon YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be going through an in-depth analysis on the current meta going into October. So this is going to follow from the release of the game on Untap to the end of September, which is about halfway through set 3. So, to start in the video, we're going to be going over the best staples from each set for all the new players and for people who are looking to improve their decks but not sure which cards to add. So starting off, we'll be going through all of the best set 1 staple cards. Then we'll be going through set 2, set 3, and then we're going to be going over some of the most controversial cards in the game so far. Then we will go through an evolution from the set 1 to set to current meta, I should say. Then we're going to be going over the best and most competitive decks. We're going to be going over some we're going to be debating between some different card options. Then we're going to be going through what the best colours are at the minute, and ending off with cards that I think have the most potential going into October. So, start off, we'll go through the best cards from best staples from set 1. So starting off, we have Chaosmon. Not only is Chaosmon got one of the highest attack values in the game, he has a plethora of abilities, lots of manipulating your data files, which for those who don't know are the 5 face down life cards. For 4 GB, it is one of the most expensive mobi-mon currently, but it's such a fantastic card. It's played in basically every deck at least one. This is also semi-limited to 2 currently, which just shows how good it is. Next up, we have Guardmon. Now, Guardmon is a yellow mobi-mon with 1 GB and 2400 power. Now, this card is a very, very powerful card because of the fact that it while it's on the field, it's the only mobi-mon you control that can be attacked, which is incredible. This is currently limited to 1 copy per deck. It's such an amazing card, and it came out in the time when yellow was the most busted colour, which was in set 1. Yellow was absolutely incredible. This is probably the best mobi-mon in the game in terms of boss mobi-mon. Again, it's yellow, 3 GB with 2500 power, and its ability lets it attack twice a turn. This card was broken. This is the card that used to let OTKs happen. Now OTKs are very rare, but this used to bring about all the OTKs. So you can already tell yellow is pretty good this meta. Then we have Scratchmon. So I don't know if I said this is limited to 1, but if I didn't, it is limited to 1, just to let you guys know. Scratchmon is a very good black mobi-mon. It's a 1 GB with 1500 power, which isn't bad at all, and it has protection because it deletes whatever deletes it. So this is limited to 2. You'll notice lots of these staples are limited because of how good they are. And yeah, so this card is run in basically everything. Then we have Gatlingmon, which is another kind of boss mobi-mon that is limited to 1. And this essentially has the protection that Scratchmon has, with pretty good stats, and the ability that you can, and the fact that it has effect removal that can just delete up to 2 mobi-mon. It's incredible. It's a very, very good card. So that is limited to 1. Another card limited to 1 is Overhaulmon, because of the fact that it can take one of your opponent's mobi-mon for the turn, which is fantastic. It's a really good endgame card. You play this, take your opponent's leader, and that's game over basically. You can get up to like 3 damage. It's very, very good. Then another mobi-mon is Experimon. This was really good. It's kind of fallen out of decks recently, I've found, or I haven't seen it used as much. It lets you return a mobi-mon or software to the owner's hand when it's downloaded, which is very, very powerful. But it just hasn't really seen much play. I'm thinking it's probably going to get seen more in set 3, with set 3 releasing all of the blank support. But only time will tell, I guess. Another card I'm just remembering is Recovery Mon. Didn't have that out, so I tried to grab that quickly. So yeah, Recovery Mon. Oh, by the way, this is limited to 2. Yeah. And then Recovery Mon is also limited to 2. This is really good because it lets you cycle softwares from your deleted back to your hand. Very, very, very good. Then we have Update in Progress. A card still used today. A fantastic card. The fact that you can draw 2 cards and then discard 1 for free is amazing. Any draw 2 is amazing. And the discard isn't terrible either. Then we have Hand Transfer, which is a permanent software, which is again used in every single deck. If you're not running Hand Transfer and Update in Progress, I don't really know what you're doing. There's an argument against Update in Progress. Hand Transfer, run it and everything. You discard a card and gain 2 gigabytes each turn. And it'll say once per turn, not once per your turn, which means this can be activated on your opponent's turn, which is a niche thing not many people know about. This can be played on your opponent's turn along with another software I'm going to be showing you guys. So this is limited to 2 as well. Update in Progress has no limitations though. Next, we'll move on to set 2. Not as many cards in set 2 as I thought they were going to be. I'm assuming I'm missing some, but I honestly don't know. I'm not sure. So yeah, first of all we have mobi-mon. This is probably the best mobi-mon to come from set 2. So it's a 1 gigabyte with 1000 power, and it reads half the power of all mobi-mon currently controlled by your opponent. This is really good. This is limited to 1. A fantastic card. Then Homunculus-mon. I don't know if Homunculus-mon really deserves to be on this list because of the fact that, I don't know, it is good. I think the fact that when it's deleted, the turn ends. So when your opponent deletes it, the turn ends. But also if you delete it, your turn ends. But it's good. It's good. It's used. I think Epic uses it a decent amount. And when he uses it, it is really good, but no one else really seems to use it. So I'm not sure. And then we have Hidden Treasure. This is a card we will be talking about more later in the video, but this is a draw 2 for 1 gigabyte. Fantastic, stable, have to be running everything. Cyberstorm deletes all permanent software on the field. Another really good card. Then we have Bite Miner. I guess this also can be argued with Hand Transfer, but we'll get into that later in the video. But each turn gain 1 extra gigabyte. So yeah. And again, that can also be played on your opponent's turn since it doesn't say each of your turns. Okay. Then moving on to set 3. Set 3 is new, and there's already more cards than in set 2. I don't know, I feel like set 2 should definitely have more staples, but I just can't think. I was looking through the database and everything for set 2, and I just couldn't find as many staples as I thought I could, or I would. But yeah, anyway. Here we have some of the set 3 cards. We have Origin Mon. This is a fantastic card, letting you take the ability of one mobi-mon and the power of another. Casino Mon can become the biggest beat stick in the game at 5,000 power. Weevilmon. There's a couple die-hard Weevilmon fans in the server. And I feel like this card is good because of it. I don't know. basically, if you don't know what mobi-mon does, is it can make up to 2 tokens on your opponent's field with 100 power. Sorry, which you may be thinking, that seems pretty terrible. I don't know. I don't know if this deserves to be here, to be honest. There's one good combo it has with another set 3 card, but it's not incredible though. I'll be honest. I'm not sure about this card. This could be in a card. This could be with a card. Oh, can't get my words out. This could be a card with potential. There you go. Then there are some mobi-mon I don't have because they are collaboration cards. So they are, I'm just going to list them off quickly before I get onto the softwares for set 3. So they are Zormon by Epic Underworlds. I would say Ecomon, but Ecomon kind of fell a bit. I wouldn't say it's necessarily stable. It's not really used as much anymore. But yeah, Zormon is really good. Being able to delete opponent's mobi-mon. Then what else was made by people? Magnetmon, being the most broken mobi-mon in the game, being able to cycle cards from your discard pile. That is limited to 2 currently. Possibly gonna have more restrictions on it though. And then what else? Strike Shield is very good, made by Epic Underworlds again. This is software that just gets rid of mobi-mon's ability. Yep, I think that's everything. That should be all the staples from there. Then we have Malware. This literally just lets you negate the activation or negate the ability of a software. Digital Void, letting you delete every single copy of a card. Fantastic. And then Firewall, just letting you negate an attack. So yeah, they were these are like the best staples in the game currently, I believe. I don't think I missed anything. If I did miss anything, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I don't think I did. Now we're going to move on to some of the most controversial cards in the game. These are cards that got hit by the banned list heavy, basically as soon as they came out. So first, there was Radiance. Now this isn't on there because of the fact that it got banned. It's on here because of the fact that when it first got added to Untap, it didn't have this little box that told you that you can add 1 yellow card from deck to hand. Meaning it searched every single card in the game. It just said add 1 card from your deck to your hand. A 1 GB Omni searcher is ridiculous. And so it's still limited to 1 even now with the new one, with the updated version. Because in set 1 it did unlock the most broken cards in the game. So yeah, that as well, that's probably the most controversial card in the game. Another card is Foghorn. This card is currently limited to 1. Again, in set 1, it was very good because of the fact that yellow is best colour in the game. If you don't know, it protects a yellow mobi-mon from battle. Then we have the banned cards. Digital Feast. I think this got banned before it was used a single time because of the fact that in the text it lets you bring a mobi-mon back from your deleted, and it makes it invincible until this card was removed. And as of the time, there was no software removal. So yeah, that wasn't intended, but that's what the ability said, and therefore it was banned immediately. Another card being Recruitmon. Fact that when it's downloaded, you can add 2 green mobi-mon from deck to hand for 1 GB. This was ridiculous card, but this still is a ridiculous card. Very, very powerful. It's quite obvious why it got banned. And then Imon. Imon got banned after the first tournament, where it was the first time it's ever been used, really. But for those of you who don't know, Imon essentially, when it's deleted, it becomes a software, a permanent software. And then every time a card's removed from your data files, your opponent has to discard a card. So every time they do damage to you, they have to discard a card, which was ridiculous. It's probably one of the most overpowered cards in the game. But yeah, I think that covers all of the most controversial cards. So now we're going to move over to some debates about different cards, and yeah, so like which ones you should run, if not both. So first we're going to be covering the debate between which card is better, Hidden Treasure or Update in Progress. So Update in Progress is a 0 GB software that reads draw 2 cards, then discard 1. Hidden Treasure is a 1 GB software that reads draw 2 cards. So the drawback for Hidden Treasure is that it costs a gigabyte. The drawback for Update in Progress is that you discard a card. Then, coming over... What? Don't know what I was going to say there. Anyway, personally, I prefer Update in Progress. I think the fact that it's free is really helpful. Like, Hidden Treasure is half of your gigabyte for the turn, which, one, doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think of it like that, it does sound like quite a lot, even though a draw 2 is fantastic. But even the discard doesn't mean the card is out of the game. Cards can still play in the deleted. There's lots of cards that gain power from your deleted cards and stuff like that. I feel like this card is more strategic in what you discard. I feel like this card it's fantastic. It is decently expensive. So in my opinion, I think Update in Progress is better. But obviously there's arguments for both. But I do run both. I still run both. I run 4 and 2. So 6 draw. That's amazing. Then we're going to move on to the gigabyte farms. Which one is better? Hand Transfer or Byte Miner? Now, they're both free. They're both permanent. Byte Miner says each turn gain 1 extra gigabyte, which, like I said before, can be activated on your opponent's turn. But then Hand Transfer says, once per turn, you may discard 1 card and gain 2 gigabytes. So this one, you have to discard to activate it. This one's automatic. But this one, you're gaining double the amount of gigabytes than what you are with Byte Miner. So, this is optional as well, by the way. This isn't optional. I don't know why you would want it to be optional, but it's not. So yeah, personally, I think... I don't know. I think Hand Transfer is probably better. The fact that you're getting double the amount of gigabytes is amazing. But I do love Byte Miner. I think Byte Miner is probably my favourite out of the two. But I think Hand Transfer is just that bit better. Then again though, just run both. This is limited to 2. Run 2 and 2. That's what I do. And then have both of them. You've got 2 permanent software slots. Unless you have a deck that needs a permanent software to, like, for the strategy to run, these are the best 2 permanent software. Just run it. So yeah, run both. I say run both of these, and run both of these. That's what I say. That's probably not a clever decision, but that's what I would do. Then we are 20 minutes in, and we've only just covered the first bullet point of 6. Yeah, we'll make this a bit quicker. So next I would like to cover the meta evolution from set 1 to now. So from the game's release to now. So to start off, the set 1 meta was very simple. It was yellow. Yellow was so unbelievably good in set 1. Because of so many things. The fact that it had Velocimon. It had Guardmon so Velocimon to do ridiculous amounts of damage in turn. Guardmon to protect everything else. Recovery-mon to cycle the two of the best softwares in the game back. Foghorn to again protect all of your yellow mobi-mon again. And Radiance, which can search every single yellow card in the game. This was the meta. It was literally a Guardmon, 2 Velocimon. Obviously Guardmon can't attack, but it's worth it. 2 Velocimon, sweep through your opponent. Monstrous. It was very, very scary deck to play against. There wasn't really much you could do. Until they banned this game and hit it very hard. Now it's probably one of the worst colours in the game. Yeah, set 2's release. In fact, let me get up the deck list so I can actually see what set 2 cards were. What set 2 brought to the table. So, okay, so like the championship set 2 deck ran lots of staple stuff, things like Fiamon. They'll all be in here. So it ran like Fiamon, but this is Epic Underworld deck. So it ran Fiamons. It ran Velocimon, obviously, because this is running every deck. Both of these are running every deck. It ran lots of the staples. It ran Zormons, Gatlinmons, Scratchmons. No Chaosmon, which I'm surprised at. Overhaulmons. And then it also ran Tyrantmon, which is a thing, which was a mobi-mon that's only really used by Epic, but it was used very well. So yeah, lots of stuff like that. Prettymon, it saw Prettymon, which is interesting. Prettymon was decent. Then more set 2 stuff was the things like Heromon. It was kind of like mid-cost mobi-mon. No high-cost mobi-mon really. Just use lots of softwares, use lots of removal abilities, and then go in with like 2 GB cost in mobi-mon. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I can't even really remember. Like, I feel like the set 2 meta was kind of just like jumbled together with set 3. For me, like, I can't really remember like specific strategies that came about. It was all kind of like a mix of just powerful staples. But then set 3, currently, like the current meta going into October is low 1 GB mobi-mon. Stuff like the Spiritmons, stuff like Zormon, Scratchmon, all these low gigabyte, like Fiamon, all these low gigabyte mobi-mon that just Guardmon that just run in, swarm the field, and get loads of damage off each turn. Casinomon is good in this meta. And then just adding in some utility cards, you know, Homunculusmon, I'm assuming would be good in this meta. I haven't actually tested it really. And yeah. So that's the current meta. Low, cheap, free and 1 GB mobi-mon to sweep in and get lots of damage off early. And use their removal effects to get rid of big mobi-mon that can't get over. So if you can hear that, there's a noise downstairs, but if you can hear that, my apologies. Now, I think that's evolution of the meta. So now we're going to be going over what I think are some of the best decks at the minute. So going over some like the decks from the tournament, we have like Epic Underworld's use of Tyrantmon. This is so like I said, this is the champion winning deck. It wasn't like a Tyrantmon deck. I don't want to say that. I just include Tyrantmon as I think it's interesting that it was quite decently prominent in the deck, with it being such a niche card and not used in many of the decks. Then we had Wheat's Hero and Villamon deck. I don't actually know the deck list on this because it hasn't been shared. Actually, I might have it. But anyway, yeah, so Heromon, Villamon, this is what Wheat used. This was this is the runner-up in the tournament. This is the runner-up deck. But yeah, so these can free play themselves. These gain buffs from how many villain mons there are. That was really good. Currently, like I said, cheap, low-cost, staple decks. But along with the spirit cards, I think the Spirit Mon archetype is fantastic. Currently, it's all 1 GB mobi-mon that run in. They all have searchers, they swarm the field, they all help themselves, they buff themselves from how many are dead, you know, all that kind of stuff. These are really good strategy. They are probably my favourite strategy at the minute. So yeah, I think these have the potential to go on to greatness. I think these can be really good if played by the right person, which probably isn't me. But yeah, I'm sure you can probably make a very, very good deck. I think also the blank mobi-mon deck could come out swinging when the support is finished, because of the fact that they already have lots of powerful cards. They just need something to glue it all together, and I think that is going to come in set 3 with the specific strategy. Now I'm going to go over what I think is... Actually, no. We'll go over some of the cards I think have potential for this upcoming meta. I say that like there's going to be a meta change. I don't know if there's going to be a meta change, but with the cards that are released in set 3, these are the cards I think are going to have potential. First of all, a card I think is going to have a staple in the high gigabyte mobi-mon deck. Now, I say that because set 3 is going to also bring more support to high gigabyte mobi-mon to shift from, to kind of have a balance between cheap swarm, high cost, expensive beatdown. So yeah, this is a card that, this is Absorb Mon, and you can discard it to make so that the next mobi-mon you play costs 1 GB less. I feel like this is probably going to be really good in that deck, making all your 3 and 4 mobi-mon cost 3 and 2 GB. I think that is going to be very powerful. Then we have probably my favourite card in the game currently, Berserkamon. This is the sketch art. I don't think the image I took for Untap does it justice, but yeah, this is the alternate art Berserkamon. And yeah, this card, again, it's 3 GB beatdown. And yeah, this card basically can attack every single mobi-mon each turn, which is amazing. So yeah, I think this is going to be really good in the high beatdown deck. Along with Billy the Reindeer Mon. This is a suggested card, but this is like a 4 GB, again, high cost, but a fantastic ability, being able to wipe your opponent's board. This is another dual colour card, black and blue. I think this is a brilliant card as well. So like high gigabyte stuff I think has potential. Especially potential to counter the current low gigabyte meta going into October. Now I'm going to end this by probably explaining my take on what the best and worst colours are. So to start, by far the worst colour is blue. Do you see any blue cards here? Apart from Billy Reindeer Mon, who is also black, that made it in this list. No, blue is pretty bad. There is an argument for Octomon being part of the cards with potential. I personally think that. It doesn't really seem like it though. But yeah, blue is terrible, especially it's very hard to make a mono blue deck. I think one person in the Discord did. I haven't tested it yet. I haven't played against it yet. I don't know how good it's going to be. Blue just doesn't seem it. Hopefully set 3 is going to make it viable, but currently it's just not. Second worst colour, I'm probably going to have to go with yellow. Yellow it was the best deck, but it got hit so hard with the first ban list, it knocked it down so far, and I think it's going to be hard to recover. There was a new archetype that came out in set 2, obviously. That archetype probably didn't help it at all, really. Like, didn't help, like, generic yellow at all. To be good, you kind of have to play that archetype. And I don't even know if that archetype's any good, really. I haven't tested it. But yeah. Then I would probably go ahead and say... I'll say red. Red has good cards. Obviously, Tyrant-mon, Overhaul-mon, that kind of stuff. But overall, as a coherent strategy, it's not incredible. Then it's kind of a tie, in my opinion, between green and black. Green has some very powerful cards, lots of Swarm, has obviously Berserker-mon, Weevil-mon, like some... Obviously, there isn't actually loads here, like in this pile, but there is lots of good green cards. There's Rain of Thorns, which isn't here, but I think that's going to be good in the high gigabyte mobi-mon deck. Yeah, so I think green is very good as a strategy altogether. Like, green has lots of green support, if that makes sense. Green is very good at being played in a green deck. Then we have black. I think black is probably the best colour in the game. It has so many staples. Like, it has Belly Reindeer, has Villamon, Scratchmons, it has so much removal, Fearmons, all the good stuff comes in black. Like Casinomon, it's all just black, it's all just really good in black. So yeah, that is what I think are the best colours. But yeah, that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.